Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, I started that way. It's your December mortgage and real estate update. If you're new to the channel, I've been a lender for 18 years. My team's one of the top teams in America, helping everybody across America purchase and refinance a house. So these updates are always based on what I'm personally seeing in the market. Yes, we'll talk about data, but we'll also talk about vibes. That's right. That's something the media doesn't know because they're not boots on the ground. Now, let's start off with something important. Inventory. December's never a month that you're going to see a jump in inventory. If you're shopping right now, I would expect it to be pretty similar. Maybe you'll get a new house or two a week, but this isn't a time that people traditionally list their house unless they have to. Think about it. No one wants someone going through their house on Christmas Eve, on Christmas Day. Closing at New Year's is no fun. You know, January is also traditionally a slower month for new listings. Certain parts of the country, you guys are dealing with snow, you're dealing with ice. Other parts of the country, it's the most beautiful time of the year, so no one wants to sell. But expect this month and next month to be lower inventory. So if you're home shopping and you're like, oh, there's nothing, it's normal. It's normal, okay? Just take a breath. Spring's coming. And look, you still might find a great house. Now, I do want to note that as I film this, as you guys are watching this, if you find a house, you do still have the ability to close by the end of the year. With conventional FHA, we can rush the appraisal. With VA, it's going to depend on where you are in the country. Like, I really want you in contract by Monday, ideally. Yep. But the bottom line is this: don't feel like there's no chance in the world you can close by the end of the year. And the reason I say that is sometimes you can get a better deal depending on who's selling the house if you close by the end of the year. And I did do a video on that. I'll put a link in the comments if you guys want to check that out. Let's talk about mortgage rates. I didn't do an update last month because I really wanted to see where the dust would settle after the government shutdown ended. You know, we had that big window where there was so much economic uncertainty. We had no reports. It was right after a fairly terrible job reports. Here's where we are. Right now, it's actually shockingly boring on the mortgage rate front. And you're like, what? Yeah, I mean, we just haven't seen that much volatility. I was expecting some level of volatility, but we just haven't seen that much. Now, you may be going, well, Jen, what about the Fed meeting next week? The market's already priced in the Fed doing a quarter cut. And you're like, well, what does that mean? Are mortgage rates going to go down a quarter? No. So the way mortgage rates work is when they're determining we're just going to call them the people. When the people are determining what mortgage rates are, they're looking at the broad economy. And what the Fed does affects the broad economy. It's not a direct correlation to the mortgage rate. It's what they do, how it affects everything else. How will that affect, a 30-year mortgage rate? So if the Fed cuts the rate a quarter, the Fed funds rate, which is different than mortgage rates, a quarter next week, I would expect rates to stay the same or go up a little bit. And I say or go up a little bit because, look, if I was you, I'd be like, what do you mean, Jen? You're saying they already priced in a quarter, but then you're saying if they do that, rates might still go up? What? Yeah. The reason's this, is that whenever there's those Fed meetings, it's not just what the Fed does, it's what they say about the future. Because the people when they're forecasting, they're also taking into consideration what they think the Fed will do next year. So what we've seen over the last 2 years is even if the Fed does what the market expects, we see rates go up. It's just crazy. And then a week later, we'll see them go back to normal. And it's just this little volatility game. So if right now you're in contract and you're waiting to lock until the Fed meeting, please don't. I mean, look, it's up to you. Talk to your lender. But with our clients, we're always like, look, lock it in. And if you want to renegotiate, there's rules around renegotiating, which we always cover. But I would rather have someone locked at a rate they're happy with than risk it going up. Okay. And based off what we've seen over the last few years, that's the trend. Now, if the Fed does not do a cut, I would expect mortgage rates to go up again because the people, they get mad. That's what it feels like. They get mad if they're not right. So they're like, well, we don't know what's going on. Well, if we don't know what the Fed's going to do, we need to just, right? It's like this pull it up and freeze moment. So I'm really hopeful the Fed will just do the quarter cut and not cause any drama, because I will say it has been nice for the last few weeks to have stable rates. And if you're like, well, Jen, how are rates? Look, they're good. If we look at where we started in the beginning of the year versus now, it's a dramatic improvement. If I look at December last year to this year, it's a dramatic improvement. November and December are going to be my biggest refinance months of the year. The amount of refinances that we're closing has jumped, and that's because of the rate drops that we saw October and what the rates have been doing since. Overall, what to expect in December? It's a sleepy month. That's how I would describe it. It's a sleepy month. Most of the videos I do for the rest of the month are going to be, about what's happened in 2025, some of the lawsuits. Oh my gosh, guys, that's a crazy video coming up. Some of the lawsuits that have happened in 2025 that are going to affect the future of real estate. We're at a point right now where what I'm seeing with a lot of home buyers, unless they're already pre-approved, a lot of people are waiting until the new year. I say this because I have a course. It's 60minhomebuyer.com. Check it out. It's free, guys. It's an hour. It's everything from start to finish to expect when you're buying a house. Really quick videos. But Sandy on my team always reaches out to people and says, hey, what's your timeline? What are you thinking? What we're seeing a lot this year that we didn't see last year is that people are saying, yeah, I'm getting ready for next year. I'm getting prepared for next year. 2026 is the year I do it. So I'm definitely seeing the buyer mentality of 2026 is the year. And I'm also seeing that right now, everybody wants to chill. And that makes a lot of sense to me. It's very similar to last year. Last year, there was so much chaos around the presidential election that afterwards we just saw that, I don't know, guys, drop it in the comments. Are you tired? Everyone was tired. And the government shutdown this year, it had a lot of chaos to it. So it does feel like Groundhog's Day, whereas a lot of people right now just want to chill. They want to enjoy the holidays. They want to get through the holidays. And next year, they're going to go hard. So if you're already pre-approved and you're shopping, it could be a great time to get a deal before everybody comes out of their cocoons. But look, only buy a house if it's the right house. I have a video on that. It's the 3 signs. I'll have that in the comments. I think it's a couple weeks old now, but it's literally I don't know why I didn't film it 6 years ago. It's so basic on how to know if it's the right house for you. And it's so easy, but once you watch it, you'll be like, oh, now I know. Okay, lastly, so beyond lawsuits that I'm going to be talking about this month, we're also going to be talking about the CFPB. That's the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. That's really been cut back, but there's a new consumer superhero on the horizon. So we'll be covering that as well. Questions, comments, as always, reach out. If there's any videos where you're like, Jen, can you please cover this? Drop it in the comments. Always feel free to reach out. We're here to support you. And if you're like, Jen, I want to get pre-approved now, give us a call, 786-933-2077. And yes, my team can help you everywhere in the United States. Thanks for watching.